Hey, today we're going to talk about how to randomly get information from anything. So let's say you want to get a random player, or maybe a random part in Workspace, or a random anything basically. That's what we're going to be learning. How to basically, let's start off with learning. We're going to start off with learning the random function and how it works and what's it used for, and what it does. We're going to learn the uses of that. We're going to learn about indexing arrays and tables, /tables, and the uses of that, obviously. And then we're going to be learning about getting random things from the tables, which is basically what that'll come down to. And then we'll be able to do uses with that. So let's get started. Starting off, we're going to put a script inside server script service. This will just be our testing script for now. Delete the precode. Starting off, math is a table. Okay, and math.random is a function. Right now we're just going to be looking at math.random. We'll look at tables here in a second. So for example, if we go to the command bar and we print math.random, it'll print function, and then the place the function resides in memory. If we just print math, it prints a table. Okay, and then the point or whatever. If we wanted a number between 0 and 1, but not, if we want a number between 0 and 1, we would do math.random. This returns a number between 0 and 1. It can be 0, but it can never be fully 1. So if we print math.random, we get 0.88, 0.98, 0.17, and etc. You get the point. It'll always be a decimal between 0 and 1. But if we wanted a range, we could do 1 to 10. This can return 1, 2, etc. up to 10, which is useful. It can't even work with negative numbers, so if we wanted -5 to 5, it could return -5. It could also return 0 and 5 and all the numbers in between that are whole numbers. This doesn't actually return decimals, so if I did -5.5 to 0.5, this wouldn't work like we'd want it to, and it wouldn't error, but it wouldn't work like we wanted it to. To actually do this, we do 55 divided by 10, I think. You have to divide it by in order to get actual decimals. That's the gist of math.random. Let's look at tables. I'm not going to go too in depth about how tables work, but to set up a table, an example would be this. And then we can have values inside the table. I'll just have strings, hi. And then this could also be a comma. I use semicolons. Some people yell at me for that. It can be strings, obviously, any string you want. It can also be numbers. You can mix values together. Obviously decimals. You can even have workspace. If I can spell workspace. I have actual user data and instances inside this table. And if I wanted a value from this table, a random, well, if I just want any value, let's say I wanted the third value. The third index matches to this value. So if I were to do this, print TV, I have to put the index, and I'll put number 3, which is 1, 2, 3, this value right here. So it should print 36234 in the output. Give it a second to load, I guess. There we go. Prints what we want it to print. Now with this knowledge, we might understand that, yeah. And to go along with this, like up here, get players and get children return tables. So get children, local children equals workspace get children. This will get everything inside workspace. So it'll have camera, terrain, base plate. If this is called when there are players and characters in the workspace, it'll get those as well. It won't get child. It won't get descendants. So it won't get the click detector. it'll just get the children, the direct children, which is all these things. It won't get the character because this will load before the character spawns, any character spawns. But if you were to wait a while for a character to spawn, then it would get the character as well. With this knowledge, we can move on to the next thing. Just something kind of useful, not really useful, you can ignore this if you wanted to, but you can replace the math function. So if I were to print math.random now, it gets this, which is now different. I changed it to this, and random. If I do .random, it does this in this function. So math.random now will always return print 2. So if I were to run this in the command bar, as you can see, return 2 right here. And it'll always return 2 now, but that's just like I said, math is a table and random is a function inside the table, but that's just something kind of weird I thought I'd show you. Alright, now let's actually use this knowledge to something. So let's say we wanted every 20 seconds we'll get a random player, and I don't know, let's kick them. So we're going to kick a random player every 20 seconds. To do this, after 20 seconds, this is a loop by the way, after 20 seconds we're going to get a table of all the players. There could be multiple, so local players, I'm using lowercase here, so these are not the same. Yeah, I'll just put PLRs just for whatever. And then we'll do players, get players. Now, if you want the players, you should use get players. You could use get children, but don't do that because that's bad. Just because there could technically be something other than a player inside that service, even though it's unlikely. It could happen, so it's best to use get players. Anyways, if we want to get a random player, so local PLR, we'll do players. This is a table, by the way, remember that. And we'll index it with math.random. But how do we know how many there are? Well, we know there must be at least one, right? Has to be at least one, or else this will be an empty table. Doesn't matter though. But anyways, so, and the game wouldn't be running anyways. It wouldn't matter if this runs or not. We could check if there are multiple players in the table, but it's kind of useless. How do we know how many players there are? So we can use this operator, which is basically just a numeric operator, which gets the number of items inside the table, PLR. Now you could do 1 to PLR. This is actually the same, so if I did print math.random 10, this is the same as print math.random 1 through 10. These are actually exactly the same, but I'll do this because it looks a little bit better. You don't have to do this, obviously, and you might not want to do this. Yeah, this will get a random player from all the services. So after we do that, we get the player. So that's just one thing you could use it for. You can also get the character. And we could just kill him, I guess, or whatever, do whatever you wanted. That's just waiting for the character to load. Anyways, so that's all that we really have to look at. Of course, you could do multiple things with this, like you could get everything inside workspace. So you can get everything inside workspace. Maybe you could get everything inside this base plate using get children on the base plate. You could get everything inside a character. You could put a folder in here with random parts and make random parts explode, or random parts change colors, whatever you wanted to do. And you could do it with something similar to this concept. So that's actually all. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. And thanks for watching.